All right. Josh Norris. Unfortunately, the news came out today. Not overly surprising. He's going to have season-ending shoulder surgery. That's the third time in 5 years. The second time in basically a year. Now, the Jacques did say today that 4 to 6 month recovery should have him ready for training camp. We can only hope. But Bob is someone who's played with him and knows him pretty well. And I know him well too, but that sucks.
Oh yeah. It's like devastating for the player, right? Obviously, you come back, you go through it, you miss an entire year, and that's where you end on a free. Like, it's one thing if you're getting hit or right, you jar it some way, but they run into the back of the net on just a freak accident. He's probably devastated. I have not reached out to him since I spoke to him right after the injury. And I'll give him some time to let it marinate and kind of get through surgery in the first couple of days and weeks. But I will reach out and just wish him well. But it's got to be devastating to be back at square at step one. Excuse me, after all of it. So I hope it's not. I think he's gonna be back. I think he's gonna go home, have a great summer, and I think he'll be back. And just wish the best.
Here's my concern though.
What's up?
He came back and was timid or nervous about it at the start of this year, which delayed him, I think, a little bit. That's what was mentioned. How is this going to be?
Oh, I mean, mentally, it's going to be a grind.
Oh.
But that's the thing, right? Like when you get injured and you're coming back from something. I remember when I got cleared after triceps, they cleared me and I was like, there's no way they just cleared me. I did the full range of tests in Idaho with my PT that I was with all summer. And he's like, yeah, not a chance. And then 2 days later, I was cleared in Detroit. I was like, okay. So they're going to have to be like, he's going to have to put his trust into, and I obviously trust the doctors in Ottawa. They're a different level, but he's going to have to put his trust in all the work that he's doing and just know that like, I'm going to get hit. It's going to happen. And hope that he's strong enough. But he's going to be prone to it right now, though, kind of.
Yeah. Have you had your shoulder done?
I've been lucky. I missed the shoulder. I went into it twice to go get looked at for it, and both times they're like long-term recovery. But a lot of stuff like this, right? The bands and crinkling newspapers, and
oh man, I talked about this before, but I tore my labrum, and my shoulder was so bad. I was bone on bone, so I had to go in and get it done. And for people who haven't had your shoulder operated on, it's such a long process because when you come out of it, you're so weak, and it's like you can barely get your arm up, and it's just those baby steps at the beginning are so frustrating. But the good thing for Josh is he's still relatively a young guy. The worst would be doing this when you're in your early 30s, mid 30s, and it's so much tougher to come back.
Yeah,
I do agree, Wally, because there is, your brain does send messages to you, especially when you've been hurt a certain amount of times. It's human nature. You're going to be reluctant. But if you go back to this injury, if you go back to look how this happened, the chances of that particular play happening is just, I don't even know what to put the percentage at. Getting hit on the exact spot on the net that doesn't give. Because here's the thing with NHL rinks now. I skate in that Canadian Tire Center about 2 weeks ago. It's amazing, Bob, how much the boards give. Like when you go in now and take a hit, it's like a wrestling ring. Like you can't get hurt on the boards anymore, really, because there's like a long time ago it was plexi, it was seamless glass, it didn't move, and boards that didn't move. Now they move. But poor Josh Norris finds one of the places on the entire rink, maybe the only thing that doesn't move, the back of the net. Like, think about that for a sec. It's crazy because he got it to a point where he wasn't, at least the way I was watching him, Bob and Wally, he didn't seem afraid. He was going in traffic. He wasn't playing tentative. He was at first. But I just feel bad for him. It's like that process is it's so brutal. And I didn't even do what he did. Mine was a torn labrum. So can he come back? For sure. It's just a long process. And like you said, it sucks.
Yeah. And he's going to have to pay very special attention to the mental side of things for him going through and starting over again. Like it's, and then at least he's going to go home, be around family, and he's not sitting in Ottawa while the team's traveling and he's on his own and you're just bored. And like, he's going to have a full summer ahead of him. So at least he has that going for him, and where he's rehabbing will be, close to his support system, which is huge.
But the big positive this time is right away. Yeah. No waiting, surgery. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So the plans are like, I like this, instead of like, let's just try and rehab it for a bit. No, we're doing surgery. This is the plan. And at least as the player, this is what you're going to do. And then you get on with it. And then you turn the page and move on. And what do we got? We're beginning of almost mid-March. So April, May, June, July. Yeah. So he should be good to go by camp.
Let's hope so. I mean, not only is it 35 goal scorer, but he's just a good kid. So
good person.
Cheer for him all day long.